Hello everybody. Today I'm doing something pretty different. I'm doing the MTGO Modern Cube Draft. Now I very rarely cube and I even more rarely play MTGO, so this is going to be sort of a adventure for me. I don't really know what I'm doing, but this draft seems pretty sweet and it's only open for a brief amount of time, so I'm going to try it out. Let's see, do I want to do it? I'll do a league. I might not want to do all of this tonight, I guess. Let's join this league. Totally know how this works, guys, I swear. Alright, we are in the draft queue. And waiting to join the draft. Let's see how this goes. Now, I don't really know this cube super well because I've never played it before. I mean, I've looked at the contents, but, you know, that's not really gonna pass for much, so I'm basically just gonna try it out and see what the fuck happens. Expect pretty bad plays, expect pretty bad picks. Basically, expect me to fuck up a lot and then make fun of myself for it, because that's really what I'm here to do. Alright, here we go. Okay. Alright, so Wormcoil Engine definitely pops out as like the easy pick. It goes in any number of decks since it doesn't commit me to a color. I think that's probably what I'm going to go for. I do really like Jace Prodigy. That would definitely be my pick if Wormcoil were not in the pack, but Wormcoil is in the pack, so I'm probably going to go ahead and pick that. That seems pretty easy. Okay. Everything else is either too specific or just not nearly on the power level of Wormcoil Engine. This card is kind of crazy. Alright, now we have Dark Confidant. Tameo seems sweet. Baral I always like. Staff of Nin to keep with our 6-drop artifact theme, I guess. It might be Tameo and we just play the control deck. Dark Confidant is really sweet, but like Wormcoil Engine in the deck, you take 6 and then you cast it and then maybe gain 6 the turn after that. That seems kind of scary to me. I think Tameo is just where we want to be in terms of just like generally good control card. Delver would also be fine. I generally like Delver decks, but I think Tameo makes sense with Wormcoil here. So I'll take that. Okay, now we've changed the rocks. Oblivion Stone, which is kind of nice. Rishkar's Expertise, which is a really interesting card. I'm a big fan of it. Tassiger, also really sweet, but now we're starting to get into the point where we have quite a lot of high mana cards. I might just take the Scalding Tarn and just open the fixing, see if we get any shocks to correspond with it, and I think that's just pretty safe here. Oblivion Stone's nice, but pretty expensive in terms of how much it actually takes to resolve, and kind of slow with that. So I think with that said, I'm going to go with the Scalding Tarn and see how that keeps us open. I think that makes sense. Alright, now we have Elspeth Tyrell for more Planeswalkers. Bloodstained Mire want more fetches. Ever After is kind of interesting, although not really what I'm looking for personally. Negate could be nice. Feldar Guardian could be nice since we're already sort of in blue-red. Maybe we can pick up that Saheeli Rai combo, but that seems kind of sketchy. I'm almost more inclined to just go with the Bloodstained Mire and just have good fixing and assume that the shocks will come to us. I don't know if that's like a thing to do, but fuck it. I don't know drafts. I'll do it. Cascade Bluffs. Okay, we're getting a lot of Grixis lands. That's what I'm getting. Shadow Mage Infiltrator could be cool. We already have the fixing for it. Other than that, there isn't much here for us besides more lands, and I've already taken enough lands, I feel like. Dead and Gone is certainly interesting. Bounce and Red is not something I usually see. But I think Shadow Mage is the pretty easy pick here. It's just generally good. Okay, now we have Ambitions Cost. We have Doomblade. Gifts Ungiven could be sweet. Thirst for Knowledge also pretty sweet. I just generally like Gifts Ungiven. I think that might be what I want to go for here. Definitely leaning into sort of a Grixis build, blue-black, maybe splash red, based on the lands. And I'm going to feel pretty good about that. Essence Scatter would also be fine here, Doomblade would also be fine here, but I'm going to go with the Gifts. I think that's just the most powerful card here. Now we have Aether Adept, we have Runescarred Demon. Not actually a great pack for us. Aether Adept might be good as a sideboard card. And if we don't end up being red, Trigon Predator could also be pretty good. So I might actually just pick up the Trigon Predator and Banishing Light too. I guess we don't really know what our third color is yet. I think with our current configuration, I'm probably more likely to be white than green, so I'm going to go with the Banishing Light and just see how that ends up. Rugged Prairie, Izzet Charm is nice. Izzet Charm might be enough to pull us into a red. All three of these modes rather are very good. Mind Control, also nice. But I think we want some more low mana interaction, and Izzet Charm will get us there, so that's perfectly fine. by CMC. Okay, so we have Moloku, we have Gifted Aetherborn, Tragic Slip. I think I might be looking at the Tragic Slip here. I think that's pretty nice. We could also just go full color fixing and try to play 4 color control, which I'm not even that unhappy with. Honestly, we might just play the Attica ways to go potentially 4 color control. That seems sweet. Let's try that. Let's bring the Banishing Light back in. Now, I don't think our mana will be quite good enough to play Obsidian, but we can certainly play Temple of Triumph and feel pretty good about it. Brawl also wouldn't be bad, but I think that's a bit sketchier than just taking the good fixing. Now, if we're going this slow of a controlling route, Oblivion Stone does look a bit better, although it does conflict pretty badly with Banishing Light. What's Careful Consideration like? That could be fine, honestly. Keeps us open for more counterspell play. Sleight of Hand's not really what we're looking for. I'm going to take the Careful Consideration. Imprison in the Moon, fairly decent removal. Perfectly happy to not have taken that. Oblivion Stone, Cascade Bluffs is great for us considering how our colors are looking, and Essence Scatter is perfectly fine. Okay, so now we're looking at 4 color control. Aether Adept is fine for the sideboard against a more aggressive creature-based strategy. Alright, feeling good, feeling good. Oh, Consecrated Sphinx, I am happy about that. Lightning Bolt would also be perfectly fine here, as would Inferno Titan, as would Char would be decent. Dismember would also be fine. This is a great pack for us, but I think the Consecrated Sphinx is kind of just the easy slam dunk, put that on the table as fast as possible pick. So I'm definitely going to take that up. Alright, deck's looking pretty sweet so far. We have a couple low mana counterspells. Vendilion Click is great for some early interaction and pressure. I like Into the Royal a lot. I'm a big fan of this card. Clever Impersonator is also good. This pack's honestly really good for us as well. I'm really liking where this draft is going. I think Vendilion Click is where we want to be. We want some early pressure at least. Although I would be very happy if any of Into the Royal, Clever Impersonator, even Nightveil Spectre came back. I'm going to take this Vendilion Click. Alright, now we have Una, Queen of the Fae. Anticipate. Spell Queller seems really sweet here, actually, as does Yaheni's Expertise. Some sort of wipe might be appreciated. Although our black fixing isn't that great, hopefully we can pick up more later on and go with this Yaheni's Expertise. Spell Queller coming back would be nice. Uno would be perfectly fine, as would Anticipate, and even Hedron Archive I wouldn't be sad about, as well as Condemn, of course. But I think here we want the Pseudo Sweeper going on. We have enough small spells to justify that. Okay, now we have Chandra Pyromaster, which is a pretty good one. I do like that Chandra. Sarkhan Dragon Speaker also pretty good. Victim of the Night, if we're going into more of a black tilt with Yaheni's Expertise, seems fine. And I think I will go with the Victim of the Night. That's just very flexible removal. Yeah, that seems perfectly reasonable. Let's take the Victim. God, our mana's gonna need to be really on point for this, though. I don't really know if I'm experienced enough to make this mana base work, but I sure am gonna try. But you know what? This deck looks sweet already. I really like where it's going. Hollowed Fountain is great. We can get that off Scalding Tarn, so that will open the white. Dissolve is also nice, but you know, I think we really have to commit to these mana fixing colors. And if we're really lucky, one of Dissipate or Dissolve will come back. Hopefully there aren't 2 people playing blue control decks who are going to pick those up, but that seems kind of doubtful. Okay, now we have Ulcerate, which is fine, but not too exciting. Steam Vents is almost certainly the pick here. Earthquake is also pretty great. Shieldred is kind of too high-end for me to be considering right now. I think the Steam Vents get our mana on point. That can be fetched with Bloodstained Mire and Scalding Tarn. That seems pretty good. So now we really want some black lands, because all we have for that is Bloodstained Mire. But you know what? We just have to believe that they'll come to us. Otherwise, we cut the black and just go heavier on the Jeskai control, which is perfectly fine. Okay, now we have Sunken Hollow, really good for the fixing. Fatal Push is also very nice. We already have the fetches to go with it, so that might be the pick. Sunken Hollow is very tempting though. Honestly, I don't know how often we'll have the 2 basics for it. It might just be best to take the Fatal Push at this point for the very early removal. I mean, in terms of spot removal, we have really Imprison in the Moon, Banishing Light, and that's about it. And Victim of the Night, of course, that's the double black is what I'm concerned about. I think I'm going to take the Fatal Push. I think that's fine. Shore up the aggro matchup somewhat. Now we have Asylum Visitor. We have Distended Mindbender, which is interesting. Despise and Condescend. I think Condescend is the pick here. That seems where we want to be. I really like Distended Mindbender, but I don't think we really have much to sacrifice to it that we're going to feel good about. Oh, Kolaghan's Command. How did I not notice Kolaghan's Command? Okay, that is fantastic. I'm really good at looking at things. Although we have a very low creature count right now. I think Kolaghan's Command is just too good to pass. Condescend is great, but Kolagon's command is just better, I think. Okay, so now we have Char and Nahiri. Nahiri seems sweet. We can play it. It seems perfectly fine. Inferno Titan's also fine, but I think we want the Nahiri here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now we have Clever Impersonator, Into the Royal, and Nightveil Spectre. I did say I'd be happy if any of these came back. I think it's going to be Into the Royal for us here. This is a very, very controlly deck. I didn't really know that this was where I was going to end up, but you know what, I'm perfectly fine to be here. Terramorphic Expanse, I think fixing our mana is more important than that. Anticipate we have enough sort of card draw and card cycling as it is. I don't really think we're going to play any of these cards, but maybe we'll put this Icy Manipulator in the sideboard just in case. Oh, sweet, Dissipate and Dissolve came back. Okay, so control is wide open. Now, which would I prefer here? Probably Dissolve. I think that's just better utility in general. And sure, Huntmaster goes over here, and Agent Grudge goes over here. Okay, sweet. This is looking good. I really like where this is going. Okay, so now we have 18 real cards, and honestly, all of these are perfectly playable as far as I'm concerned. Okay, what do we got? Ashiok. Okay, Ashiok is really, really sweet. Can sort of just take over games on his own. Trophy Mage doesn't get us anything. Azure Mage is fine. Burst Lightning is fine. But I think we just... Oh, Karn. I couldn't tell because of this glitch. Okay, so we have Karn and Ashiok. Those are our choices really here. I think it's going to end up being Ashiok, though. I think we're not going to have as many issues sealing the game up if we get to that high end. I'd rather just have this sort of constant pressure factor down. Let's take the Ashiok. Master Worm seems good. As sort of a trump card. Shivan Reef is good for the mana. Smoldering Marsh also good for the mana. I did say I wanted black, and this can be fetched by both of our fetches. So I think that's probably going to be the pick. Yeah, let's take the Smoldering Marsh. And honestly, our mana base is looking kind of nice. Okay, Watery Grave. That is pretty perfect. Mind Shatter is also great, as well as Threads of Disloyalty for the early creatures. I feel so bad passing that Watery Grave. I don't really know if there's anything here worth taking over it. Huh. Yeah, I think we have to take the Watery Grave here. That's just too important to get our mana correct. Here's Downfall is fine. Vendetta is fine, but kind of painful. This Sorin, I don't think is really where we want to be. That's a bit aggressive for us. Marsh Flats is obviously fantastic, but here's Downfall might be good. God, am I really just going to take all the lands? Is that where I'm going to be? So 19 cards. I have to pick up 4 more to have a reasonable deck here. I really do want to take the Marsh Flats. I think that's... Let's see, what are our shocks here? We have Smoldering Marsh it can get, Steam Vents it cannot get, and Watery Grave it can get. So it can get all the Grixis colors. It can get every one of our colors. Okay, it gets every one of our colors. I can't pass that. Okay, Psionic Blast. Anguish in Making is also great. Now that we have more of our fixing down, I do like Venser a lot. I think I'm going to go with the Anguish in Making though. I think just that catch-all is nice to have. I guess if you weren't aware, Psionic Blast is the blue Char, if I remember correctly. Deal 4 damage, take 2 life. Take 2 damage, rather. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely very not used to playing on Magic Online, so expect some mistakes, at the very least with the interface, but I think this deck at least looks really sweet. This is really everything I want to be doing in a control deck, personally. We have removal, we have counter spells, we have card draw. We have sweet Planeswalkers, early interaction. I am liking where this is going. I don't really see how these games could not be at least interactive unless we completely fuck up our mana base. Okay, Sphinx's Revelation is fantastic. I'm going to say that right now without reservation. Prismatic Lens is also kind of nice since our curve is relatively high. Shriek Maw is nice. What is this thing? Oh, I don't think that's where we want to be. I don't really need more lands, special ones that come in tap, so I think I'm just going to take the Revelation and not feel too unhappy about it. That card will just win the game, of course, unless I start decking out, in which case it will lose the game. But you know what? If we're going to deck out by drawing too many cards, I'm not even unhappy about that. Okay, so we got Blood Crypt, Void Mage Prodigy, Liliana Vest is interesting, Electrolyze is interesting, Far Away is really good. Oh boy, there's a lot of good stuff in this pack. I think it's between Electrolyze and Far Away. Huh. I think we probably have enough pretty flexible removal that I'm more inclined towards the Electrolyze just to sort of get some velocity going. Liliana Vest is nice, but I think Electrolyze makes sense here. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, now we have Wear Tear, we have Heart of Kirin, which I don't really see us turning online. Devil's Play could be a lot of burn, I guess. I think I'm inclined towards the Wear Tear just for the sideboard. Yeah, I think that's where we want to be. Okay, Unburial Rites came back, which is interesting. Now our only two creatures really worth getting are Consecrated Sphinx and Wormcoil Engine. Everything else is kind of mediocre, where we have yeah, nothing. We have like no creatures. Okay. That said, doubling up on our threats might be good. It might just be Mirror Battlesphere just for more threats, since, as aforementioned, we really don't have creatures. Yeah, I think that's where we have to be, unfortunately. As much as I want the gifts combo with that. I guess we have Shivan Reef, we have Frost Links. Okay, no to Frost Links. Let's take the Shivan Reef. More fixing is never bad. Now, Chasm Skulker is... Oh, all the cards we wanted came back. Okay, so between Mind Shatter, Threads of Disloyalty, and Chasm Skulker, I'd say. Obviously, I don't really know why I feel the need to quantify that. I think Mind Shatter is a bit intense for me. I think that's a bit too swingy. Chasm Skulker could be really good. I think I'm going to go with Chasm Skulker as just more threats. Sorin, also on the more threats plan. Yeah, let's go for that. I don't think we need more card draw, especially not on the 3 slot. Although, Vendetta could be good, but I think Sorin's fine for this. Psionic Blast is fine, Temple is fine. Our Red Splash isn't that much, so I'm just gonna take the Psionic Blast, probably for the sideboard. Grey Merchant is fine. We don't have enough white to play Return to Dust and Torch Fiend. Okay. So that is... These are the cards we have. That is interesting. Okay, so... Currently 15 spells, 12 lands. That is 2 cuts to make. Might be Victim of the Night. Might be... Could be Into the Royal, I guess. That's kind of tech. Imprison in the Moon. That's just too flexible to pass up. I mean, we're giving them an extra mana, but it deals with Planeswalkers, deals with lands, I guess. Does deal with Planeswalkers, doesn't deal with artifacts and enchantments. That's what we have Banishing Light for. I mean, all these cards just seem really great. Maybe the Electrolyze is more against the maybe the Electrolyze is more against the Low to the Ground decks where they only have a couple points of toughness. I can make that argument. Careful Consideration also seems kind of a little bit sketchy. We don't have all that much we want to be holding up on our opponent's turn. Sphinx's Revelation, Careful Consideration, Gifts Ungiven. Some removal spells, some counter spells. Maybe it's just good enough. Yeah, I think that's the most questionable card in here is the Careful Consideration. So I'll try it without that. Okay, now for the lands. This is the part where I feel like I'm gonna fuck up. We have... Let's get some color sorting down. Okay, so we have a lot of blue. A fair amount of black between everything. We definitely want one of each basic for our fetches. The fetch situation here is we have... let's see, so... Terramorphic Expanse to grab things. Can I move things around? Is that a thing I can do? Can I do that? Okay, Expanse is a fetch. There's this shock, there's a shock. There's a check, or whatever you want to call it, the Zendikar lands, battle lands, I guess. Here's another fetch, here's another fetch. Here's another shock. Here's another fetch. Okay, so we have black, red, white, and blue fetches, as well as the Terramorphic Expanse. We definitely want one of each basic land. Let's go back to CMC, add basic land. So they're suggesting 1, 2, 1, 1. That seems perfectly reasonable. That brings us up to 40 cards. And this is going to be very interesting. This is a very sketchy mana base, but you know what? I feel like it's going to be fun. I feel like we have enough cool stuff going on here that we can pretty much deal with anything that gets thrown at us. Between the counter spells, the bounce spells, straight removal for basically any card type, a little bit of life gain and Sorin and Wormcoil Engine, a lot of card draw. Yeah, I'm feeling good here. I'm feeling good. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and actually just play a game of this right now. I think that's going to be fun.